Persia, 1850. The Babi faith was gaining significant prominence, despite being violently opposed by the clerical and state institutions. One of its greatest oppressors was a newly appointed prime minister, Amir Kabir. Some 20,000 Babis were executed during his rule. He was convinced that the Babi movement needed to be quelled to safeguard his interests. To that end, he met with his advisors to recommend the public execution of the young Bab himself. Some officials welcomed the new orders, while others advised against such actions and were sympathetic to the Bab and his followers.
To put to death a banished Sayyid for the deeds committed by a band of irresponsible agitators would be an act of manifest cruelty.
This is wholly irrelevant, this issue. The unity of the state is more important than this Sayyid. Nothing short of the remedy advocated can uproot this evil and bring us the peace for which we long.
One of these sympathizers was the governor of Azerbaijan, Prince Nawab.
Welcome, my friend. Proceed to Chekrik, where the Bab still lay confined, and bring him back to Tabriz.
He felt it was necessary to show respect and honor to the Bab, who at the time was imprisoned in the dungeon of Jehriyoh,
and treat him with extreme deference.
Prince, my lord, Mirza Hassan Khan wants to meet you.
Once the Bab's transfer to Tabriz was complete, the Prime Minister's brother, Mirza Hassan Khan, was enthusiastic to remind state officials of the execution orders.
He commands you, the prince, to carry out the order of the execution of his prisoner the very day that this farman reaches you. And whoever professes to be his follower is likewise condemned to death.
The Emir would do better to entrust me with services of greater merit than the one which he has now commissioned me. The task I am called upon to perform is a task that only ignoble people will accept. I am neither Ibn Sa'd or Ibn Sid that he should call upon me to slay an innocent descendant of the Prophet of God.
While initially met with resistance from Prince Nawab, Hassan Khan took things into his own hands and was determined to convince local courts to comply.
Tell him that Nawab refuses to perform his order. It's from Amir Kabir. He says, to relieve us from this anxiety that weighs heavy upon our hearts, and let this affair be brought to an end before Ramadan, that we may enter the period of fasting with undisturbed tranquility. We must let Nawab know of these fresh instructions. Take this to him and tell him that we must meet at once.
Prince Nawab is ill.
Representing the local court of Tabriz, the Farash Bashi was summoned by Hassan Khan to transfer the Bab and his company from their house arrest to the barracks. The Bab and his company would be led in chains through the streets and bazaar of Tabriz to their ultimate destination.
Deprived of his turban and sash, the twin emblems of his noble lineage, The Bab, together with Sayyid Hussein, his amanuensis, was driven to yet another confinement, which he well knew was but a step further on the way leading him to the goal he had set himself to attain. Never had the city of Tabriz experienced a turmoil so fierce and so mysterious as the one which seized its inhabitants on the day the Bab was led to the place that was to be the scene of his martyrdom.
Please, let me see him. I wish to see him. Send me not away from thee, O Master. Wherever thou goest, suffer me to follow thee. The Bab then answered to me, Arise and rest assured that you will be with me. Tomorrow you shall witness what God has decreed. Yes, he said.
That night, the face of the Bab was aglow with joy. A joy such as had never shone from his countenance. Indifferent to the storm that raged about him, he conversed with us with gaiety and cheerfulness.
The sorrows that had weighed so heavily upon him seemed to have completely vanished. Their weight seemed to have dissolved in the consciousness of approaching victory. Tomorrow, he said to us, will be the day of my martyrdom. Would that one of you now arise and end my life with your own hands. I prefer to be slain by the hand of a friend than that of the enemy. Tears rained down from our eyes as we heard him express this wish.
We shrank, however, at the thought of taking away with our own hands so precious a life. We refused, remained silent. Suddenly, Mirza Muhammad Ali sprang to his feet and announced himself.
I am ready to obey whatever the Bab might desire. The Bab then declared, this same youth who has risen to comply with my wish will together with me suffer martyrdom. Him will I choose to share with me its crown.
The Bab was engaged in a confidential conversation with me when the Farash Bashi suddenly interrupted and, holding me by my hands, drew me aside and severely rebuked me. Not until I have said to him all of those things that I wish to say, the Bab warned the Farash Bashi, can any earthly power silence me? Though all the world be armed against me, yet shall they be powerless to deter me from fulfilling to the last word my intention. As the Bab was leaving the barracks, I asked him what I should do. Confess not your faith, he advised me. Thereby, you will be enabled, when the hour comes, to convey to those who are destined to hear you the things of which you alone are aware.
From Mirza Hassan Khan. Farash Bashi, conduct the Bab into the presence of the leading mujtahids of the city and obtain from them the authorization required for his execution. You are coming with me.
No, not me. I don't follow the Bab anymore. Leave me.
I was amazed at such a bold assertion. I made, however, no reply and bade Sayyid Hussein arise and follow me.
Son, please recall your faith now, so that you can save your life. Please think of your mother, please, son.
Never can I renounce my master. He is the essence of my faith and the object of my truest adoration. In him I have found my paradise.
Hold your peace. Such words belong to madmen. I cannot excuse this folly.
I am not mad. Such a charge be brought against you, who have sentenced to death a man no less holy than the promised Qa'im. One who has embraced his faith and is willing to shed their blood in his path is not a fool.
What are you waiting for? Bring the Bab to see Mullah Muhammad Mamagani as well.
No need to bring the Sayyid Bab into my presence. This death warrant I penned the very day that I met him. Surely he is the same man, and he has yet to surrender any of his claims.
No need to enter. My master is already satisfied that his father was right in pronouncing the sentence of his death. He can do no better than follow his example.
No need to enter. My master, Mullah Murtaza Qoli, had previously issued his own testimony and refuses to meet face to face.
You can proceed with this task. Now that I have obtained the sanction of the civil and ecclesiastical authorities of the realm.
No, please, I'm begging you. Let me stay with my master.
Take him back. You have order to execute him as well, if he persists in his refusal to deny his faith.
I profess the Christian faith and entertain no ill will against you,
if your cause be the cause of truth, enable me to free myself of the obligation to shed your blood. That very day the Bab replied. He said, follow your instructions, and if your intentions be sincere, the Almighty shall surely free you from your perplexity. Drive a nail into this pillar and the door of the adjoining one, and make fast 2 ropes. We'll suspend the Bab and his companion separately. I'm begging you, Sam Khan, place me in such a way that my body can cover that of the Bab. Do as he wants.
This youth, known as Anis, was eventually suspended in such a position that his head rested on the chest of his beloved, the Bab. As soon as they were fastened, a regiment of soldiers arranged itself into 3 files of 250 men.
Regiment ready! Fire! I was likewise stunned by the force of this tremendous revelation. Leave the barracks immediately. I refused ever again to associate myself and my regiment with any task that involved the least injury to the Bab. I told myself that day in the courtyard I would never resume that task, even though my refusal should entail the loss of my own life.
I am Aghajan Khan Khamse. I volunteer to carry out of the execution.
The very moment the shots were fired, a gale of exceptional severity arose and swept over the city of Tabriz. A whirlwind of dust of incredible density obscured the light of the sun and blinded the eyes of the people. The city remained enveloped in that darkness from noon until night.
I am Haji Ali Asghar, an official of the Russian consulate showed me that same sketch the very day it was drawn. It was such a faithful portrait of the Bab that I looked upon. No bullet had struck his forehead, cheeks, or lips. I seemed to gaze at a smile which still lingered upon his countenance. His body, however, had been severely mutilated, and I could recognize the arms and head of his companion, who seemed to be holding him in his embrace.